Wanted to share this part of the solution that I've came up with based upon the answer that I received, that I didn't want to divulge until I had a better understanding and a better way to share what it meant. So we do start this and we'll go through it. Moving forward is the next step, and as I promised, I will provide the answer and a solution based on my findings. Remember that we are bright stars and we are currently surrounded by a darkness that absorbs our light. This darkness survives on our energy. It surrounds us, it encompasses us, and it constantly manipulates us. The answer I received was simple and clear. Rather than emit energy, let us absorb energy from the darkness so that it ceases to exist. This answer was received just as any other answer I have received in the past that are usually technically oriented. At the time, I was busy and focused on doing something completely unrelated when the thought idea clearly popped into my mind as a statement accompanied by a reminder of my familiarization with the energy movement. There is no source that I could relate this to, as it was presented to me in the exact same way. These types of answers have always occurred to me throughout my life. It is a simple answer, as I have said, but it isn't a solution that we can merely execute without further understanding, planning, or testing. Fortunately, I have experience and understanding related to where this is pointing because it has been an exercise that I've been exposed to for decades without any explanation or instruction. That is my direct correlation with this answer that would probably not have provided much meaning for anyone else's ears. I did not previously divulge the answer because I had not really tested a solution without any real feedback to prove any authenticity in the outcome whatsoever. This is beyond anything I have ever been tasked with in relation to non-physicality. It is a vast stretch comparing connections and communication with another realm versus consciously affecting or making actual changes within another realm that I do not presently inhabit. From a purely physical, technical aspect, I would define this as an unrealistic spiritual fantasy plan, and it really is from that perspective. From my present perspective, I am aware that this problem within uncharted territory is not going away without action. So I'm following my intuition and adapting as I always have. This plan basically solidifies our abilities and our potential for projection far beyond this current physical form. My limitations and your limitations are the only thing that confines us within this mess, and it takes situations like this to convince us that we are more than what we think or seem to know. I want to start off with this. If you do not possess patience, then you will not fare well in this process, or any other process that requires time and a large amount of effort. That is just how it is. I want to be clear on this point. This operation consists of working within a non-physical environment in order to be successful. After personal application and testing, I did utilize a procedure for this operation. That procedure is what I had previously defined as the glimpse state. The description and process for the state are in my first book, My Dark Explorations, as well as almost every interview that I've ever given, also are on my channel. This state utilizes the daydream state as a gateway into the non-physical. As options, if you have a preferred method of connection that you are more comfortable with or more familiar with, then feel free to utilize that. Or if you are not looking to participate in this particular manner, you can make use of your visualization skills while in your favorite relaxed state. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read you the instructions in order to achieve or to practice and get to the point of, for those who want to achieve or work within the glimpse state as I have mentioned. To access this state, I begin by sitting still and staring at a wall 5 or 6 feet away. Once comfortable, I would change my focus to a point midway between myself and the wall. I was now focusing on a spot in the air. Hold on to that focus and try blinking as little as possible. During this time, don't entertain any thoughts, just focus on staring. There will come a time when your eyes will automatically shut and you will lose consciousness for a brief moment. At this point, there are a few options. Either you naturally surrender to the daydream state and follow that dream and not be lucid, or you consciously gain your lucidity within a new landscape and experience this new connection, or you will just be conscious with your eyes closed and then wait for some time to see if a connection presents itself. The daydream state that surrounds this whole process is highly attractive and requires complete focus in order to ward off the illusion and focus on the connection. This will take all of your focus to remain focused on only the connection if it appears. If during the process you are unsuccessful, keep trying. Once you are in your attained space or ready to visualize, these are the instructions that I would recommend. Just to get you started so you have an understanding. If you're not really well versed in visualization, it kind of gives you a background on how that you can begin to visualize your certain scenario. Once you have chosen or attained your method of connection, whether it be a glimpse or your own personal meditation method, or through visualization, you can begin by deciding how you want to conduct the visual production within your preferred space. You are creating a visual play with your mind, and you will choose what icons or avatars you want to play the part of each role in this production of yours. Currently, we are producing energy for darkness, and we want to take it all back from this unknown entity. So we are taking it all back. Now you will decide visually how that needs to play out in your production, in your mind, and your non-physical space. Our thoughts and attentions are under our control, and outside of this physical world, they hold much more power. Don't just create your production, become an integral part of it. Make changes and become part of this creation. We cannot do this job physically, so this is how we must master those that have been mastering us. If you were looking for an easy, effortless solution to a complex problem, then you are in the wrong place. This is our present reality, and that is the way that this is. As always, if you have questions, just ask. What is happening here, and I'm going to put it all in a nutshell. In order for us to complete this task or the solution, what we need to do is work within the non-physical realm. Can't do it physically, you have to do it non-physically. So what I'm saying is, in order for us to be successful in this, we either have to utilize a connection, as I do the glimpse state, so that you can be in a non-physical connection within a space, a non-physical space. Or if you're really good at meditation and you can utilize visualization, or through the fact that you can just do visualization in a comfortable space. What you're going to do is, once you've attained your level of non-physicalness, or your level of meditation, you will begin to create within your mind and within that non-existent space. You will begin to create for you a three-dimensional, basically, production. So if you were to look down on your production that you're creating, what would it look like? For instance, if you were playing a video game and you're battling the dark night, then you would be in armor and you would have a sword, and then the Dark Knight would, and you would, fight him. That's how things would look. But if you're in this situation where we're taking back our energy from this other source, you would need to visualize what you believe this source would look like. Just give it anything, and it doesn't need, it has to only fit what you understand or what you feel is right. And then how you would, what the energy would look like and how you would take it back. What you're doing is you're using your imagination and your visualization skills to create a three-dimensional, like I said, production for you to mentally act it out. And what you're doing is, since you're in that non-physical space, you are creating energy, and that energy is acting upon your will. And that's how we have to take this back. So when I work within a certain, when I work within the glimpse state, and you work within this other state, and then somebody else works in another state, it will all work together if we're doing our job, if we're doing our due diligence. If we put ourselves into the task. If you just want to say, well, I'm just going to think about this and whatever, you're only going to get out of it what you put into it. I know that it's not normal for us to work outside of reality. But in this case, that is what is needed. There is no way that, there's no sword that you can just pick up and take care of business. It doesn't work that way. And in order for us to deal with the unconventional or the non-physical, that's how we have to work. And a lot of people probably didn't think of it that way, or some people don't think that way, or maybe some people don't believe that way. It's up to you. What I want to do is present the solution for people that want to commit. So that's what this is for. If you don't feel that it's for you, totally understandable. But if we're going to do this, how many options do you have? Right now, you have one now. Before, you didn't have any. So this is where we're at. If you have questions, I'm around. I always answer my my emails and everything else, and I'm willing to work with people if they want to learn a certain process, or more about the glimpse process. I can talk them through it a little bit more, but I laid it out for you. It's something that I never got. I had to figure this all out myself. So if you feel like you're struggling, then you're along with the rest of us. I don't want people to unduly struggle, but I want you to understand is I had to come about this on my own, basically, so you're going to have to put your effort into it, and you're going to have the drive in order for this to happen. No matter what, I'm still moving on with this. Whether anybody else decides they want to do it, that's up to you. I figure the more people that we have that work together, the more chance we are of success. If you don't want it to be successful, then don't commit, whatever. It's not my choice, but I've made my choice, and I presented the information, and I'm willing to answer questions and to be here for support. That's the whole process. And I will be posting more information as I get questions and as I think of other things. Yeah, I'm going to be posting more. I'm going to be continuing this. So we'll talk again.